Hello students, welcome back to the video in which we are going to discuss your summer holiday homework. Okay, as you know, in the month of June, you will not be getting any videos from this site. You will be having your summer holidays. Okay, so in the month of June, you have to prepare for your summer holiday homework. Now, before actually discussing the questions, see over here some directions that how you have to make this summer holiday. Okay, the first thing is you don't have to write down these questions in any of the copy. You have to maintain a file for it. Okay, you have to maintain a file for this summer holiday homework. Now see the second one. What you have to do? You have to write down basically the front page should be there. Then you make basically the acknowledgement part. Okay, then these questions, and at the last you make a remark over there. Okay, so this thing you have to include in the file. Now, the third one, the most important thing is that this is your summer holiday homework, plus this file will be considered in your board practical exam. Okay, you know that you are having 100 marks for theory and 100 marks for practical. Okay, so for this 100 marks regarding to your practical, you will be having 25 marks regarding this file. Okay, and you know that 100 marks for theory plus 100 marks for practical. Okay, both of them will be divided by 2 and you will be getting 50 plus 50. So accordingly, please calculate your marks afterwards. But I am telling you that from these 100 marks of your practical board exam, you will be getting 25 marks from this file. Okay, so please be very honest with your file and please be very accurate. Be very serious while making this file. Okay, now let us discuss the question. See the question number 1. We are having find the output. Okay, we are having basically 5 parts in it. Question number 1, question number 2, 3, 4 and the fifth one. Okay, you can note it down in any of the rough copy. Now see over here what you have to do. Firstly, you have to write down the question. Okay, question number 1, find the output. Now part number 1. Write down the question, lines of code, write down the heading, output, and then write down what is your output for the same. Okay, now below this output, mark second one, then code, then output, then third one, then output, and so on. Okay, now see this part, fifth one. In fifth one, basically, we are having 5 inner parts, A, B, C, D, and your E part. Okay, so what you have to do, write down the fifth part, write down the question, the A part. Okay, x equals to 2, then your output or the value of the expression. Okay, then B part, the question, and then the value of the expression, and so on till E. You have to do this thing. Okay, I hope the question number 1 is clear. Now see the question number 2. In question number 2, what you have to do, rewrite the following code. First one, using while and do while statement instead of for. Basically this code is using for loop. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to convert this code into while loop and again this code into your do while loop. Okay, so two parts basically you have to do in this question. Now how you have to write it? Write down question number 2, rewrite the following code. Okay, the first one, using while do while instead of for, then the question. Okay, now using while loop, write down the code appropriately for the while loop. Now next heading, using do while loop, write down the code appropriately for do while statement. Okay, now see the second part, using for loop instead of while. In this part you just have to convert this while loop into your for loop, nothing more you have to do. Now in this question number 4, in this question you have not asked to write down the output, so there is no need to write down the output for these codes. Okay, you just have to do the conversion and write down the code in your pages only. Now see the part number 3 over here, using if statement instead of ternary operator. Below is basically a ternary statement. You have to convert it into your if construct basically. Okay, now identify what kind of if construct you are going to use it over here and convert it accordingly. So these are the question number 2 parts. See question number 3 over here. Question number 3 is, a computerized bus charges fare from each of its passengers based on the distance traveled as per the tariff given below. Below is a chart in which we are having 3 rows. for the first 5 kilometer, for the next 10 kilometer, for more than 15 kilometers. I have already told you about this first, next and more. It means if you are having, if you have moved or if you have traveled for 12 kilometers, okay, then what you have to do, for the first 5 kilometer your charges will be 80, and for the rest of the kilometers, okay, it means for 12 minus 5, that is what, that is your 7. For 7 kilometers you will be charged per 10 rupees per kilometer. Okay, so for the first 5 you have to charge for 80 rupees, and for the remaining 10 rupees per kilometer. Okay, now you have to write down the appropriately if else if code for the same. Okay, now as the passenger enter the bus, the computer prompts enter distance you intend to travel. Firstly, you have to take the kilometers as an input. Okay, on entering the distance, it prints his ticket and the control goes back for the next passenger. At the end of journey, the computer prints the number of passenger traveled and total fare received. Okay, this question I think we have already discussed when we were discussing our exercise portion over there. Okay, so now again you try this question on your own. See over here, when we were learning our chapter, we have also learned about this user control loop. So over here you have to make the use of this user control loop. Okay, and you have to include the output portion also. Don't forget to include the output portion. See question number 4. Write a program to accept a number and check whether it is a SPI number or not. Now, a number is a SPI if the sum of its digit equal to the product of its digit. Now, what you have to do? See the sample input 1124. You have to basically break this number into certain digits. You have to take the sum, you have to take the product, and compare this sum with the product. If both the things are equal, then your number is a SPI number, otherwise it is not a SPI number. We have done a number of questions in which we know how to break this number into digits. Okay, so the same logic you have to apply it over here also. See question number 5. Write a program to calculate and print the sum of each of the following series. You are having basically 3 series over here. You have to write down a program to find out the sum of each of them. Now my dear students, one thing to notice over here is that we are having two kinds of questions like this. Okay, one is to make a menu driven program, another is to write down a separate program. Okay, so firstly you please see the question very carefully. Okay, in this question it has not been mentioned whether you have to write down a menu driven program or you have to take a user's choice or you have to use switch case over here. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to make a separate 3 programs for individual part. Now write down question number 5. Okay, section number A, part number A, the question, then the program. Okay, and then the output portion. Then B, the question, the lines of code, and the output, and so on. Okay, so basically 3 programs you have to make in question number 5. Now see question number 6. Write a program to display the pattern based on the user's choice. Now see over here, it has been mentioned that you have to take a user's choice. So you will be using switch over here. Okay, now the choices are N and C. Now you are bound that you have to take N and C only. You can't use another thing. Okay, so what you have to do while you are making a menu, enter N for the inverted triangle, enter C for the forward triangle. Okay, and appropriately 2 cases you have to make, and obviously 1 case for the default one. I hope the code is clear, question is clear for you. Yes, now moving forward, see the question number 7. Write a program to enter 2 numbers from the console. Find out the GCD and the LCM of those. Now students, don't get confused. In your GCD and your HCF, both are near about the same. Okay, there is not much difference between your GCD as well as your HCF. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to take 2 numbers from your console. Okay, you have to take 2 numbers as an input. Now you have to write down the appropriate formula to find out the GCD of those 2 numbers. Okay, and when you find out the GCD, it is very easy to find out the LCM also. So you have to write down the appropriate code for them. Question number 8. Write a program to enter a number and calculate the sum of digits of the number. Furthermore, check whether the sum is prime or not. Now see, again we are having a number, for example 15391. Okay, you have to break this number. For every digit you have to find out the sum. Now over here, see, the sum is 19. Now you have to check whether this 19 is a prime number or not. If yes, then it is a prime sum. If not, then it is not a prime sum. Okay, so this much you have to do in question number 8 with output part. See question number 9. Write a program to display all prime palindrome numbers between 10 to 1000. See, you are having two limits. Okay, you have to initialize from 10 and you have to end till 1000. So basically what you are going to do, most preferably you are going to apply this for loop over here. Okay, and within this for loop, what you are going to do, you have to find out only the numbers, those are your prime palindrome numbers. Okay, so for prime palindrome numbers, you have to find out whether a number is prime as well as palindrome. You know how to find out whether a number is prime or not. You know how to find out whether a number is palindrome or not. If a number is prime as well as palindrome, both of those, then only your number is said to be prime palindrome, otherwise it is not. Okay, so this much you have to do in question number 9. Now see the last question, that is question number 10. Write a Java program to print the following pattern. Now two programs you have to write down for two parts. Okay, see the first part, this one. You have to write down the code for printing out this kind of pattern. Again see the B part. Please note it down very carefully. Don't make any mistake. For the B part also you have to write down a code. Okay, so basically these are the 10 questions that you have to do in your file as your holiday homework. In case you are having any doubts regarding any of the question, then let me know. And yes, I'm also going to give you a a link in the description below in which you can find out a blog जहाँ पर आपको सारे के सारे questions यहाँ पर मिल जाएंगे. Okay, so don't just make any mistake in the coding part or in the questions. Okay, try to copy these things very appropriately and make your file very neatly and very honestly. Okay, please be very focused. You are having one complete month. Okay, so this much is for your summer holiday homework. Thank you so much.